Edward Scissorhands, 1990, is a timeless Gothic fairy tale directed by Tim Burton, with Johnny Depp in the lead role. The film masterfully creates a unique atmosphere that blends melancholy, beauty, and profound social commentary. The story centers on Edward, an artificial being whose inventor died before completing him, leaving him with sharp scissors for hands. He lives in isolation in a gloomy castle until he is discovered by Peg Boggs, Diane Wiest, a kind Avon saleswoman. She takes him into her ideal, brightly colored suburban neighborhood, striving to integrate him into society. Initially, Edward is met with fascination and acceptance. His unique hands prove useful. He creates amazing hairstyles, trims hedges into animal shapes, and carves original ice sculptures. However, despite his kindness and sincerity, society gradually turns against him. Edward's otherness, his misunderstanding of human norms, and his appearance ultimately frighten and annoy the townspeople. When he falls in love with Peg's daughter, Kim, Winona Ryder, his life becomes even more complicated as he faces jealousy, misunderstanding, and outright hostility. Edward's attempts to be useful and accepted increasingly complicate his life in the suburbs. Minor misunderstandings due to his scissor hands escalate into serious problems. On one occasion, while trying to save Kim from a thief, Edward accidentally wounds her friend. Though it was an accident, the townspeople could now only see him as a threat. Rumors spread like wildfire. The media, which once portrayed Edward as a wonder, now depicted him as a dangerous monster, and people demanded he leave town. The climax arrives when an angry mob, driven by fear and ignorance, heads to the Boggs' home to get rid of Edward. Kim helps him escape back to the castle. During their flight, a brutal confrontation ensues, forcing Edward to use his scissors again in self-defense. In the final scene, atop the castle, Edward and Kim face the enraged crowd. To save Edward and allow him to return to the solitude where he would be safe, Kim fakes his death. She shouts to the mob that he is dead, so they would leave him in peace. Edward remains in his castle, cut off from the world, but finally safe from cruelty and misunderstanding. Edward Scissorhands serves as a deep metaphor for otherness, loneliness, and society's cruelty towards those who don't fit in. The film explores themes of acceptance and intolerance, showing how quickly fascination can turn into fear and rejection. It highlights that true beauty often hides behind a monstrous appearance, while normal people can be hypocritical and cruel. The dual nature of Edward's scissors, capable of both creation and destruction, is central, as is the love and sacrifice in Edward and Kim's story. What do you think is the most powerful message Edward Scissorhands conveys about society and individuality? Share your thoughts in the comments. The film's visual style, with its stark contrast between the gloomy Gothic castle and the brightly colored suburb, powerfully underscores this conflict. Danny Elfman's music perfectly complements the visuals, creating an atmosphere of melancholy and wonder. Edward's story doesn't end with his return to the castle. The film offers a touch of magical realism. An elderly Kim tells her granddaughter why it snows every winter. It's Edward, in his castle, creating ice sculptures, and the icy shavings fall onto the town. This poignant reminder speaks of his enduring presence and creative spirit. Edward Scissorhands leaves the audience with a bittersweet feeling. It's a tale of a lost paradise and the impossibility of true integration, yet also one of eternal love and memory. Edward never found his place in society, but he found a love that stayed with him forever and left behind beauty manifested in the winter snowfall. The film earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Makeup and became a cult classic, influencing pop culture and cinema. It solidified Johnny Depp's status as an actor capable of deep and unconventional roles and remains one of Tim Burton's most celebrated works. It's still relevant today, reminding us of the importance of empathy and that true understanding often outweighs outward conformity.